Hi, Julia Watts here. Thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. And today we're going to be looking at some of the brand new Fairy Hugs stamps, part of the Mini World collection. I've got a tag here. This is one of my Distress Oxide backgrounds, and there is a separate video on my channel showing you how to do that. And I think this is something like probably Salty Ocean, Wilted Violet, and maybe peacock feathers in there. It doesn't really matter because, you know, all colours of distress work together. And this is actually the Oriental tag. Unfortunately, I haven't got any of those in stock on my website, but I do have the Urban tag in stock. So first of all, we're going to give ourselves a little bit of a hill in the background. So just a torn piece of card, and we don't need much of a hill. I'm using Rustic Wilderness Distress ink, and we're just going to have it shaped like that, I think, using one of the Craft Artist brushes just to apply a bit of the ink on here, like so. Build it up a little bit so you can definitely see it. Okay, so there's a little hill going on there. That, just get rid of that little bit of excess ink so we don't get it over everything. And then we're going to go into our stamping platform, which I've put somewhere safe. What did I do with it? Oh, there it is, right underneath it there. Right next to me, typical. Anybody knows me, I can't see anything right in front of my nose. So let's go on here. Obviously we're dealing with a tag, so all we're going to do is butt it up to the left hand side and see how we get on and pop a few stamps in. So we're going to start with the mini oak tree, and I'm going to pop that just on the hill here, like so. And we want to make sure, because we're going to bring Goomba in, we want to make sure there's enough space for him to sit under the tree. So we don't have to have the whole tree on, but we do want to make sure it's touching the ground. So, okay, that's going to be fine in a moment. Let's make sure that's well anchored. And we're going to stamp this using Acorn Versafine Clair, which is one of the browns. There's some really nice browns in the Versafine Clairs. Give it a good old press, and I'm using the Press to Impress from Crafts 2, which I do have in stock on my website. My website's juliawattscrafts.co.uk, and I ship to UK addresses. Let's have it a little bit darker, because obviously we're dealing with quite a dark background here. It's a good base to start with, a coloured base rather than starting with just a white piece of card. I think it's less scary if you do that, and you've got yourself a bit of a jump start. There's our tree. On the acetate. Then we'll bring in a Goomba, which is one of the new little dragons. And the idea of the mini world is you can make lots of little tiny scenes. So you could actually just do a little card that stopped there. We're going to obviously make it the full length of the tag, but you can just do, you know, pop yourself a little sentiment on, and you've got a card straight away. And I think it's, you know, nice to have really little cute cards. So Goomba's going to go there next to the tree. Let's anchor that down nicely. And I think we're going to stamp him in Nocturne, which is the black Versafine Clair. Fairy Hugs are an American company. They've been going about 18 months now. And the stamps are available on my website in stock, what we're using. Again, for shipping to UK addresses, or you can purchase them from fairyhugs.com and they ship worldwide. Just lift that up carefully. I'm going to go again just so he's nice and dark. He doesn't need to be, but we're just going. I like them nice and dark. Obviously, that's the benefit of the stamping platform, that you can go on again. There we go. There's Goomba. And if I pop him up there like so. Now for my rest of my tag, I have a plan. So we've got another dragon. This is Rindo, or Rindo. And it's interesting actually, because the Fairy Hugs children actually, or the owner's children, name the characters. So I'm not sure where Rindo comes from. So we're going to have this sentiment here, and this is part of the sentiment release from February 2022. This one's called Listen. There is always music among the trees in the garden, but our hearts must be very quiet to hear it. So I thought that might go nicely there. Then I'm going to bring in a stamp from the Halloween set from October 2021. And these are the Spooky Moons. So the idea, I think, is to have a spooky moon up there, and we're going to have Rindo just kind of perched on the edge there. So he's kind of flying around the top. So I need to just make sure that I've got enough space for Rindo and the moon and the sentiment. So I'm going to move this over here and line it up with that line there. Pop a few magnets down here and up there. So the Spooky Moons is quite cool actually, because you've got two moons. You've got a solid, and then you've got one with detail. You can use them all individually, or you can actually marry them up. So we're going to stamp this one first, because I'm going to use the pair of the smaller moons. And we're going to stamp this one first. I don't really think it matters which way up you do it. And let's just check that we're going to have... Yeah, let's have it just going off like that. So I want to put a few magnets around so that my tag hopefully stays put. And I'm not going to stamp this as dark as the other ones. I'm going to stamp this one in Morning Mist, which is a grey. I have got, yeah, that's the older one. I've just pulled out a new one. This is an older one. I'm not too worried if it's not perfect. Having said that, I might find when I stamp it that I want to go again, but we'll see. Good old press. Gently let it release so it doesn't move, because I don't want it to move. That's nice, and actually I really like that because that's nice and pale. Happy with that. I don't want it to dominate the scene. Do I want to put the other one on? Yes, let's put the other one on, and then you can actually see the effect of using the two. Obviously, you can do it the other way around. You can do the solid first and then put the detail on the top. I did by accident do it this way around on something, and I quite liked it. So we're going to go the solid on the top. Let me just see if I've lined that up properly. Okay. And on the top, I'm going to use Cheerful. Am I? Or am I going to use a blue? Let's go for a blue, actually. That might be interesting. Let's go for Warm Breeze. I know I've done this with definitely done this with a yellow, and it's been lovely. This might be a mistake, but it's always good to make a mistake on a video, isn't it? I hope there's not an air bubble underneath there. Left that up. That is a little bit dark, isn't it? A little bit dark. But it's still got detail. Okay. I would have preferred the yellow, but hey ho. So that's solid. Then we're going to bring in our Rindo, and we can go back into the corner just in case, make things a little bit more secure. And we bring in our other dragon. Obviously you can bring in fairies, you can bring in owls, you can bring in whatever you want to. So Rindo's, I think I'm just going to have him, I could have him just underneath, but I think it's quite interesting having him overlap. I'm hoping that the ink isn't going to bleed. In fact, let's just dab that off a little bit so it's a little bit drier. Because obviously Versafine Clair takes a while to dry. And then we're going to have him coming in there. You could use the sewn hearts coming out of his tail, all sorts. Let's pop that like that. I've not actually stamped him before, so we might need to go twice. We're going to go Nocturne Versafine Clair again with the black one, so he really pops. Let it release because obviously it's a little bit sticky because it's new. He looks good, doesn't he? He's quite dark anyway. There we go again. There we go. There's Rindo. It's always good to have a juicy ink pad. I have re-inked that one. Then put Rindo back, and then we grab our sentiment, which is our Listen sentiment. And that's going to go in here. And I can use my stamping platform to see if I can get this straight. The lines on it. Hopefully that's straight. We'll soon find out, won't we? Probably be straightish, that's what it'll be. We'll do it in black again. And pop that like so. It's quite a delicate stamp, so you don't want to necessarily press too hard. That looks perfect to me. Okay. We could just add, actually, just in the bottom, if you wanted to. We've got these little mini caterpillars, and they're quite cute. So I wonder if we can fit one of these in. We might not be able to. Let's have that one. And then we can colour him in. Or we can have, tell you what, let's grab something else, because there's lots of mini animals. Lots of mini animals. And we could have one of the mini hares instead. And he can be looking at what Goomba's saying. Just down there. Oh, stop sticking to me. There we go. Secure that. And we do that in black as well. Okay. Now the only question is, do we want to add some foliage to this or not? So let's have a look how it looks on the tag. There's our backing tag. I think I'm going to leave it like that. I don't think I'm going to add anything else to it. The only thing I might do actually is just grab some pens and colour to the wings. These are my Sentimentally Yours watercolour blending brush pens, and obviously we're dealing with kind of blues and purples, so we can just add a little bit of blue to the, they're still called wings, aren't they, on dragons, I think. Yeah, so we add some of the colours from the background into the wings. And we do the same with Ringo up here. Rindo, not Ringo. Could be a Liverpudlian dragon, couldn't he? Ringo. Let's add a little bit up there. And we'll bring in a little bit of purple. Not sure if this is the purple I want. Yeah, it's not too bad actually. Obviously you can add glitter to the wings as well, so you could bring in your Sakura clear Stardust pens to go over the top. Glossy accents would look fabulous on the wings as well, but obviously you need to wait for those to dry. And if you are talking about, I've been using these tags for bookmarks, you might not want to put anything that's dimensional onto them. Let's add a little bit down here. This is quite relaxing. So it doesn't take long. Obviously this is a tag, but you don't have to do a tag. You could pop it onto a card. And you know, you can build so many different scenes. The Mini World collection is quite large actually. I think there's something like 38 stamps in the new collection, but you'll see if you watched the shows on the craft store, not the craft store, sorry, it's Create and Craft now, isn't it? If you watched some of those, oh, I don't want that one. Let's put in let's have a green down his chest. If you watch some of the shows on Create and Craft, you'll see from the design team they've pulled in some from previous collections, and they definitely do work together. Oh, let's have a bit of green on his chest, on his wings as well, so it all marries in. Obviously you can take your time a bit more, pick your colours to go a bit better, but you can see it's quite easy. If you just add a little bit of colour to their wings, then it just pops a little bit more. I think that's all we need. So obviously we can now just glue that in place. Actually, let's just go around the edge with a distressing of some sort. Maybe, yes, let's have this bit mermaid lagoon. Yeah, it might be mermaid lagoon that's on here actually. I think it's probably peacock feathers though. Let's just add more than that. I'd do a, oh, let's grab one of these, that'll do. That's better. And that'll hide that little white edge there that I've got around the moon. Just pop this onto our tag, and then you've got yourself a bookmark or a gift tag. You can actually, with these tags as well, you could make yourself a card blank, so you just leave the outside edge, one at the left hand outside edge outside of your folded card, and then you can make yourself a shaped tag card, which is quite a nice thing to do as well. Line that up, and you do get the little reinforcers on the die set as well. Do be careful when you turn them over that you don't run your fingers around just the very edge, because the cards turned round, and sometimes you can get a paper cut. So there we are. There's our little tag from the new Fairy Hugs Mini World, and you can purchase, if you're in the UK, you can purchase from my website juliewatercrafts.co.uk, or elsewhere in the world you can get them from fairyhugs.com. Thank you for watching. Please like and comment, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe too. Thank you. Bye.